Protesters have taken to the streets in the West Bank, marking the displacement of hundreds of thousands of people during the 1948 war following the creation of the Israeli state. It serves as a grim reminder of how far back this conflict goes. And Sky News' Deborah Haynes has this report for you now.
The siren cries out for 73 seconds. One for each year since what Palestinians call the catastrophe. Al-Nakba, May the 15th. The day after the State of Israel was born, and in the eyes of Palestinians, when their dreams died. It's an annual moment of grief and protest, with emotions particularly high this year.
Because of the Nakba today, things are going more complicated and stuff like that.
And will you keep on protesting?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, we'll keep protesting until we're free.
In Ramallah on the West Bank, anger also expressed more forcefully. It triggers tear gas in return from Israeli soldiers.
ليش رجعت اليوم؟ طبعا عشان القدس، عشان غزة، عشان الشيخ جراح، عشان فلسطين.
This is Sheikh Jarrah in East Jerusalem. A Jewish legal attempt to evict some Palestinians from the neighbourhood helped trigger the crisis. Diplomatic efforts are underway to halt the carnage, but this professor isn't optimistic.
I think it's very important to save lives immediately. However, I also realize from my former experience with what happened in the past that after this ends, probably nothing will change.
Back on the West Bank, fury burns.
Even if the leaders on both sides agree to some kind of ceasefire, however unlikely that might seem right now, it'll do nothing to cease the sense of suffering and rage felt by Palestinians across this region.
The path to a lasting peace, all but impossible to see. Deborah Haynes, Sky News.
Thousands of protesters have gathered in pro-Palestinian rallies across Australia. Demonstrations took place in Sydney, Melbourne, Adelaide and Hobart, calling for the violence to end.
Marching along the streets of Sydney.
Israel, USA! How many kids have you killed today?
The demonstrators filled the city with their numbers and their voices. Protesters mingling with police outside Town Hall. For Palestinians, Saturday marked 73 years of resistance against Zionist forces and forced ethnic cleansing.
We are standing in solidarity together, linked arm by arm for one basic thing, and that's for human rights and basic humanity.
In Melbourne, people waved flags and signs, gathering to hear a public address.
Fighting for equality from the river to the sea, for diaspora, for Palestinians in all of historic Palestine, nothing less.
The crowd calling for peace between Israel and Palestinian territories as the Gaza conflict escalates.
My heart bleeds for Palestine, as I'm sure all of your hearts bleed for Palestine.
Anna Rawlings, Sky News.